Good evening, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Eagle Eyed View. This one's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to this. Was real guest. Obviously, he's invited me to on his channel, the United Community, but we're going to take it a little bit different today. This young man, please show him some love on this channel. The guy is 15 years old. He's doing school at the moment, but also churning out content. So please make sure you support him. Hamza, thank you so much for coming on.
It's a pleasure, man, to come on. Really enjoying doing content with you, and yeah, it's been really good, like experiencing the work here on YouTube, and actually to know what it takes to actually like go up the levels. But uh, we'll still work hard, even though it's really hectic. But uh, yeah, really enjoying it. Really enjoying it.
No, keep pushing through, man. I'm new to this as well, but I think the thing that brings the whole community, the whole YouTube community together, is just especially regarding football, is the love of talking about football.
Exactly.
You know, and then we end up meeting new people, and this is how we've crossed paths.
New people, new ideas, no new point of views. Like it's really interesting, like doing these kind of stuffs. New cultures as well. You're gonna get to know some today.
No, 100%. Now, obviously you're a Manchester United fan, and we will touch a little bit, not a lot, a little bit on your club towards the end of the show. But we wanted to start first and foremost regarding your nation. Show that badge. Show that badge to the people there. Show that badge to the
Here we
people.
go.
Yes, Hamza is from Egypt and lives in Egypt too, you know. Which brings me to the first question. What is football like in Egypt? Like what's what's the views of football? Are people passionate about the game of football in Egypt?
No, it's definitely passionate. Like every like you talk to every person here in Egypt, they always talk about football. Like I have loads of group chats. Specifically Arabian people and Egyptian people like talking about football. It's everybody loves the game here. Like we play in the game everywhere. Like we play even with bottles when we finish training. Like if we're bored, we could play with bottles. This is the love of football here. Like we really do love football here, and like football also drags like when, for example, I'm gonna say when Mo Salah just went to Liverpool, suddenly all of most of the Egyptian people became Liverpool fans. So
Yeah, yeah.
we're really passionate here. So really glad that our country started to develop, like discovering new people, new talented people, going out, expressing themselves, showing that there are actually talent here in Egypt, and that they should be scouted more, and they should get more players from here, because like I there are many clubs here, and Ahli and Zamalek and clubs like that, famous clubs here in Egypt, and African clubs, like they always produce players that like in when you see it like in the television here in Egypt, it's like wow, how are these guys are not playing in European leagues. So
Yeah.
it's kind of weird for me, like to see those talented players not playing outside and not like given the respect that they should. But in like here the passion football is massive, massive.
Brilliant. I mean, let's give the viewers a bit more context here. So obviously the Egyptian league has its own league. Like, how is that? Like, how is the engagement with the league in itself?
Like to be honest, I'm not into that league, because like when we talk about an African league, like it's not, first of all, here in Egypt you don't have, apart from three clubs challenging for the trophy, and two now, because like we have three, Ahli and Zamalek, and then we've got the Pyramids. So like every year it's gonna be Ahli and Zamalek. Like either of them are gonna win, and most of them Ahli, and like 75% Ahli and 25% Zamalek. But like it's like the Egyptian league. It's not that like enjoyable to watch because football, like to be honest, it's a bit crap because of the managers here in managing those clubs, and like I would like to see more managers like from outside who actually got, like for example, if you got managers from League Two or so, why not bring them there and like change the culture here, change how to style football and their fitnesses. Like the problem here is that like we cannot challenge European clubs because of fitness wise and style of football, which is kind of sad because we actually do have really good talent here. So it'd be really interesting to see if there are actually managers who would come to a country like Egypt or an African country and try to change and create a revolution in African nations.
Yeah, I mean, no, just hearing you speak is it just kind of like opens my eyes to the fact that like maybe because there's only one team, two at the most that are really challenging, it doesn't get the traction it needs, you know. But you know what? There's a hope for every nation, you know. And I guess, and we're going to talk about more of the players later. But the fact that if we get more and more players from the nation of Egypt coming into Europe, it brings about exposure, you know, and hopefully, like more and more other clubs will be thinking, oh, let's look in Egypt and see what's there, you know. But in saying that, you said that obviously, like it's not as well watched as Europe is, obviously. So what is the most watched league in Egypt? Which league gets the most like publication and views and such?
It's the Premier League definitely because like obviously Mo Salah going to Liverpool like created more exposure here in Egypt to watch Premier League. Um, like even before Mo Salah, everybody loves talking about the Premier League. Everybody says like top four is gonna be tough, like top six. Like even watching like Burnley versus not Burnley, Leeds versus Crystal Palace, for example, your club. Like you enjoy watching these games, even though it's a mid-table battle. Like it's enjoyable in our eyes now. I didn't hit on that in the question before, but I would like to say that, like, even technology, like here in Egypt, like in camera wise, microphones and things like that, they like when you see them as bad quality and things like that, and you not enjoying watching it. So that also like exposes why people don't like watching Egyptian league. So yeah, back on that, Premier League is the best. Premier League is the best, 100%.
Okay. With that in mind, obviously you said like when Mo Salah went to Liverpool, like everyone started supporting Liverpool. So what was the clubs that were being supported the most? You'd say before Mo Salah went to Liverpool.
Man United definitely is in there. We've got Liverpool. They were Liverpool fans, but not as much as now because
Yeah.
and Man City as well. Fans started to rise. Like they like it's a new generation, so they're not gonna focus on the history. They're gonna focus on
The present.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
And Pep Guardiola being one of the greatest managers, and Man City getting like the best of the best. Probably gonna get Harry Kane and not Jadon Sancho, Jack Grealish. So, like, I even have Arsenal fans here. So it's weird, but but it's it's good for it's good to be honest. But most here are Man United and Liverpool fans. Like Man City are just starting to rise, and not Chelsea, to be honest. I don't see Chelsea fans.
Just out of curiosity, and the answer is probably no. Any Palace fans?
Yeah, yeah, I have
Okay,
few.
okay, I'll take that. I'll take
I
that.
have few. I have few here.
Well, listen, send them my way. I'd love to chat to them. Send them my way, boy.
All right,
Love to
all right.
find Palace fans across the world.
I will share the video with them.
Wicked. On that note, how did you become a Manchester United fan then?
Like, it's kind of a weird story, but like in the past, like in 2015, 2016, I wasn't that involved in football, to be honest. Um, was like bantering my father a lot when he watched Man United fans because he would be shouting and saying, "Why do this? Why do that? This manager's crap, and why are you getting this and that?" So
Yeah.
I really like bantering my father because like it would be funny and his reaction would be hilarious. Like, get out of my room, get out. so so I love that, but started watching more Premier League football and really like in free time, and like, wow, this is quite enjoyable, and like and I really focused on the history of Man United and known actually how big it is, and like I got really drawn to it, and like this is a really good club. This is the club that I could actually like, and to be honest, and many like people, teenagers, kids have the same opinion, but like when you have, for example, Mo Salah going to Liverpool and everybody suddenly starts cheering Liverpool, you don't like that because like it's becoming boring now that everybody's cheering for Liverpool, and you're gonna cheer for Liverpool as well. It's gonna be boring. You understand me? So like I didn't like the fact that, oh, an Egyptian player is going there, then we're gonna cheer for the club. No, it's the love for the club. Like you're gonna cheer for the player, but you're not gonna cheer for the club. So yeah, Man United all the way to really loved the history of the club. Really liked how the players came through. And actually loved the club when Oli came in. Really enjoyed how he's building it. Really enjoying how different style of plays he actually plays. So it's kind of mix, and actually Man United is run through my family, to be honest. Like my father, my aunt, my like everybody in my family is Man United fan. So yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, let's move it back to Egypt because we are going to talk Man United towards the end. The Egyptian national team. Talk to me about them.
uh I would say if I could describe them in one word, I would say passionate team. But I really don't like the manager. Like is Hossam Hassan, if you know him. But his style of play. Nobody likes his style of play, and nobody likes his squad selection. And like we have enough to win the African cups, but the manager is it's a bit like Southgate, to be honest. But Southgate has better, more quality, definitely, and Southgate definitely is better. Definitely is better than our manager. And like when you have a player like Mo Salah in the Egyptian nation, and you say like, oh, they should win because they have Mo Salah. No, so it's about the entire squad, and our entire squad is not like, it's not as strong, but it's good enough to win African cups. Like we have like our goal. Like if you heard the rumors, like past 2 seasons probably, that Mohamed Shinawi, who was a goalkeeper, who is a goalkeeper now in Ahli and Egyptian national team, he was rumored to go in Aston Villa or a Premier League team.
All
So,
right.
so like it's quite interesting, really.
No, absolutely. And obviously you mentioned obviously your nation Egypt is they should be winning African Nations Cup. I mean, they had a period where they were just dominant. Um,
The
three
goal
African
generation.
nations in a row. And I'm going to read this out. So in 2006, they went then, and they were the hosts. In 2008, they were the hosts in Ghana, and in 2000. So 2006 they were the hosts. 2008, Ghana were the hosts and they won it, and 2010, Angola were the hosts and you won it. So 3 years in a row, you won the African Nations Cup, and I remember one of them because you beat us. You beat Ghana 1-0. We've been to so many like semi-finals and finals and just not hit the grade. So for you to win it 3 years in a row, it must be a phenomenal achievement.
Of course, definitely, it was the golden generation. Really, like you had the best of the best, but the only thing that they didn't do is qualify for the World Cup, which was kind of disappointing because when you see this generation and they're dominating the African cups and saying like this team was really strong at the time, and it was so unlucky not qualified for the World Cups, World Cup 10, 2010,
Yeah.
14 as well. So yeah, like we qualified for the World Cup, but it was a lucky one against Ghana. If we would have lost, we would face Ghana. If we would have won, then we qualified. But we won because of penalty of Mo Salah. So
Yeah.
it was a historic night here in Egypt. Was really was probably we haven't qualified in two decades probably. So was a historic night here in Egypt, and but but we got off the group stage. So so yeah.
Which can happen. Which can happen. I mean, but as you said, it's a phenomenal achievement to get there in the first place. How's it looking for next year's World Cup? Is it looking promising?
Um, I'm not gonna say look promising now, to be honest, because there are obviously players coming through in here in the league and outside as well. So be interesting to see like the squad selections for the cups, the squad selections for the qualification matches. Sorry. To see how the manager is gonna play, because every time he changes his tactics, and when he gets absolutely pelted on social media, then he suddenly starts playing good football like Oli
Yeah.
does. So it really depends on the squad, really, and depends on the manager. Like 75% on the manager, 100%.
Understood. Right. Listen, you mentioned Mo Salah. However, there's been quite a few decent Egyptian players who have made the mustard in Europe. Without trying to show my age too much, I don't know if you remember Mido.
Definitely, yeah. His son is with me in school.
Say it again,
His son, Mido, is with me in school.
Oh wow. Listen, he came. He was from Tottenham, Wigan. I think he was at Ajax for a stage as well
Ajax,
before that. Such a good striker.
really.
Very good striker. So, like, what's your thoughts on like, obviously minus Mo Salah, the other influx of players? Like, I've got quite a list here. You had Mido, you've got El Nene at the moment, Trezeguet from Villa, El Ghazi, no, El Mohammadi, El Ghazi's Algerian, El Mohammadi, Ramadan Sobi.
Yeah.
Quite a few Egyptian players,
Like Mo Salah, like was really, he was like in a club here in Egypt that wasn't known. Like he was lucky enough to go to Basel. Like he really showed his talent. Like he went to Chelsea, he dropped off a bit in Chelsea. I thought the pressure on him was too much. But when he moved out and started playing regular football and like express himself more, I thought that Roma transfer was like this is the decider whether your career is going up or going down, because Roma,
Yeah.
it's Syria, that like it's famous, but it's famous for other clubs to scout because it's gonna get you more exposure, and of course with the goals and assists, like people are gonna get more interested and seeing what kind of player you are. So I thought that Roma transfer was critical for his career. And going to Liverpool was massive, and playing under Jurgen Klopp, like Jurgen, when a manager like Jurgen Klopp gets a player like that, who's African and playing Roma, like you know 100% that this player is gonna be something else, and he really shined in Premier League and became one of the best. Like he's arguably one of the greatest in the Premier League.
He
So
really is. He really is phenomenal. What's your thoughts on some of the other players mentioned? You got like Trezeguet.
Trezeguet really is climbing a bit. Like he's taking steady steps. He's a really good player, technical player. Um, really enjoy watching him, but he needs a bit more game time. He needs consistent playing. He needs to work on fitness more because he gets injured a lot.
Yeah.
And Mohamed Nani, look, I said
Yeah,
before, I said
he's an interesting one because for Egypt, he's good. For
even
Arsenal,
in Arsenal. Look, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Arsenal, I don't think he suits Arsenal. I don't think he suits the Premier League. If he goes abroad to a league like Serie A or a slower league than the Premier League, then I think he will shine. I think he'll definitely. But when he played this season, he was good. He banked goals. But the problem is he doesn't play consistently. Like when you have a player that's benched for 6 games, 7 games, and then goes on pitch, and you want him to perform. So it's quite difficult for Anani because the entire club is in the ground, to be honest, and it's difficult as well to shine around a bad Arsenal team
yeah,
that was really struggling last season, and with the manager as well, like always changing the team, always changing tactics, not having style of play, not having a philosophy. So I will not say like Alnani is bad or anything. Complete opposite. I think he's a good player, and if he gets more game time, or as I said in the beginning, he should get a move to a Serie A or a slower league than Premier League. Then I think he would be a really better player than he is now.
absolutely. I mean, yeah. To be fair, like I'm just trying to think back to last season when he did come in. I believe it was at Old Trafford. I think he was playing next to Thomas Partey when Arsenal won 1-0. I think did he play in that game or no? It was a game at the Emirates he played against Manchester United.
And he
And
scored, right? He scored.
um,
He scored.
let
Or
me-
he played man of the match. I remember
yeah, I
like
think it's man of the match.
like
It was
what?
the Emirates
Why?
game. The game at the,
Come on.
yeah, it's a game at the Emirates. He was really good. I'm sure he played at Old Trafford as well. But like when he has played, he's done very decent.
Like Arsenal have been really inconsistent, and like Nani, of course, is gonna be inconsistent with an inconsistent team. As like a quality player like Thomas Partey would absolutely like. We know that he's a fantastic player,
Yeah,
but he's inconsistent as well because he has bad players around him. So if
and
you're
he's
gonna
injury prone.
like solid. So if we're gonna pelter like Mohamed Nani for being inconsistent, then I think we should criticize as well Aubameyang, the likes of Aubameyang, Lacazette, Nicolas Pepe, Saka, those players. So I feel like he's not the blame. like I feel like he's the victim in all of this. Like a move will like, uh, as I said in the Mo Salah transfer when he went to Roma. If he went to a different club than Arsenal and shined like a club that's starting to rise like Roma, Napoli, and AC Milan, that would be a critical move for his career. And I feel like with this transfer, he might like show who he is.
Absolutely, absolutely. But no, they're just obviously a handful of players that have come from your nation that have done well in Europe, you know, and I guess obviously it will lead you in good stead for your nation. I mean, as a Ghanaian myself, like we're getting quite a few influx of players that are getting around Europe as well, you know, and hopefully we'll be able to do better in major tournaments, especially the upcoming AFCON, you know, kind of hoping that Callum Hudson-Odoi agrees to play with us, you know, because there are some good Ghanaian players out there, but they're choosing, some of them been choosing England or even Italy, you know,
Yeah.
but we will see, we will see. But no, thank you so much for that segment on Egypt. It's very, very insightful. It's great to know, and obviously, like how football is seen in your nation, you know. But the final bit, obviously, and won't have to be too long because you've probably spoken about this many a time, is your beloved Manchester United. So, just quickly, what's the thoughts on how the season went?
This season, was it loads of ups, loads of downs. Like, and the first three games, like we got 3 points. Like we're saying, like, is it the manager? Is it the team? Like, what's going on? Like,
Mm,
and like when the season started progressing, like, oh, we're playing good. Like we even like did an undefeated streak till whatever was probably around 15 to 18 games, something like that. And we started doing really good comebacks. And like incidents, loads of incidents happened. Like people, Manchester United fans keep forgetting why Maguire at the beginning was crap because of the incident in Greece. Players didn't have preseason. They played only one match. When in preseason you should have around 7 matches or 8 matches.
yeah,
So preseason there was no preseason. That's why as well Man City played bad at the beginning. The Maguire incident and the Champions League night against Leipzig, and the agent of Paul Pogba comes out and says the player doesn't want to be here. Like, how could you say that? In like at the time, like one of the most important game in this season, and you're saying your client doesn't want to be a Manchester United player. Like some fans were saying, like if you don't like the club, you're not bigger than the club. Take your plane and get back to Manchester or go whatever, sod off. Like
yeah,
some fans were actually really pissed with that, and I was that like how you could disrespect the club like that. So that was this incident. Like it created really separated the fan base, even though the fan bases already is separated and created more disasters. So it's been a lot of ups and downs really, and we started
yeah.
moving forward, started moving forward, winning games, and we were even top of the league at the beginning of this year, and we started like seeing real progress. And but the final, like we said, it would have been a really successful season if we won the Europa League and finished second, and we didn't win the Europa League because yeah, I'm not gonna speak about that, to be honest. I'm not gonna pelter David De Gea because he's a legend of the club. I'm gonna respect that. So like yeah, it was a bit of disappointing ending, yet we see progress. And if we get the transfers that we actually want, um that we're expecting, then we have a chance to challenge next season, hopefully.
Okay. You say you spoke about next season, but before we talk about your expectations for next season. What's your thoughts on the transfer window so far?
Lots of positivity, really. We got Sancho. Probably Varane is gonna come. It's weird because you're dealing with Real Madrid here, so you don't know whether you've got the player or not. Like Jadon Sancho, we know we've got the player because Borussia Dortmund. We know that they take young talent and sell them. So we knew instantly that Jadon Sancho was gonna come 1 year ago. Um, Rafa Varane, probably hopeful that it's gonna happen, and obviously Kamavinga talks progressing. Like it's looking really good around transfers. Apart from Paul Pogba leaving, I don't know what's gonna happen with that yet. We didn't get rid of the Deadwood, which downgrades the rating of this transfer really. Like we got a new contract for Mata, who barely played last season. Matic is not going and he doesn't get any game time. Those kind of players, so Deadwood we call them. So yeah, so till now it's been below average transfer market from Man United till now, but lots of positivity. I'm not gonna ignore that. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with the transfer window. Hopefully, we get the players to challenge for the league next season.
Okay, and lastly, what are your expectations for next season?
Expectations for next season? Ooh, um, kind of as we said on my channel that it's gonna depend on the transfer window. If Man City are gonna get a striker like a Harry Kane, gonna get a winger like Jack Grealish, they're gonna be unstoppable because they've definitely got two squads and not they don't have a position that they're weakened. So I think Man City, if they get the transfer that we're all expecting, then they're gonna win the league again. Man United, if we get Varane, Camavinga, and we keep Pogba, then I think that we have more chances of winning the league, challenging for the league. I'm not gonna say winning the league. More chance of competing against Man City and Chelsea and Liverpool. Liverpool, I think they're gonna start rising because Van Dijk is now back. Joe Gomez is now back. They've got Konate, even though he's injury prone, but he's a good center back. We'll see. We'll see what midfielder they get after the departure of Wijnaldum, and Chelsea. I believe that. I don't think if they don't get a striker, then I don't think that they're gonna finish like top two. I think they're gonna finish third or fourth. They're gonna compete with Liverpool, I think. So it's gonna be a really interesting season. I think Crystal Palace might do well. I think they have a really good chance of finishing above Arsenal.
I appreciate that. I know you're not just saying that because I'm on here. You've been saying this for a while.
Yeah, I think Arsenal are gonna have a really bad season next season. Like they're gonna see, get what's his name, Arteta out. The players are crap. Get rid of them. You're gonna see them down next season.
All right. Slander is welcome on my channel. All slander is welcome on my channel.
It's banter. It's banter FC. We're talking
about. Got to give and take banter. Absolutely. Listen, Hamza, we're gonna wrap it up there. It's been amazing. It's been amazing. Like I said, first and foremost, thank you so much for even taking out the time.
Pleasure to come on your channel.
You know, just to give a bit of context, guys. We're going to be churning out more content together. We've been speaking about obviously doing some shows regarding like African players around Europe and the world, if need be. You know, the African Nation Cup is in January, so you'll see us doing bits for that too. And on United Community, we'll talk transfers and stuff. So we're going to keep as active as we can. You know, But he's still got to focus on his schoolwork. You know what I mean? So
I'm still on vacation, so you're gonna.
he's still got work to do. You know what I mean? But listen, guys, please check out his channel, The United Community. Like I said, 15 years old, and he's committed to doing this. You know what I mean? And from Egypt as well. You know, so big up to him. Like, he's trying to get global. You know, so let's create him a global fan base. You know, let's do this for him.
Hopefully.
And so Hamza, listen, thanks again for coming on, my bro.
Thanks for having me again. It's a pleasure to come on and enjoying talking football as always.
Brilliant, as always, nothing better. So guys, subscribe to Eagle Eyed Football, like, share this content, turn on your notification bells as usual. Whenever a video drops, you'll be aware of it, and comment below. You know what Egyptian? Yeah, let's talk about it. What Egyptian players really caught your eye through whatever era.
Mo Salah, really.
I'm gonna guess that probably Mo Salah might come up the most, but you know what? There's been some others. You know what I mean? There's been some others. So if there's any Egyptian players that have really caught your eye over the years, drop it in the comment section below. And we out.
Peace.